Ladies and gentlemen, baby faces, and all my true heel heats out there, I am Mr. Richie Moon. This is Richie's Raw Recap. But before we get into that, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for the latest and greatest in wrestling news as we are on our way to 1K. And Monday Night Raw opened with our still WWE Champion Drew McIntyre clothed in his kilt, pointing at that WrestleMania sign harder than anybody has ever pointed at a WrestleMania sign, except for Ronda Rousey. And of course, this wouldn't be a Raw opening promo unless he was interrupted. But he did say that he respected Goldberg even though he kicked his dad's ass. He didn't say that, but that's essentially what he said. And Edge said, man, are you stupid? You should have Claymore kicked me as soon as I got into this ring because I am the ultimate opportunist. So Goldberg is saying that Drew is bad for disrespecting the legends, and Edge, a legend himself, is essentially saying he's stupid for not disrespecting the legends. You guys, you conflict in the storylines. And that way, Edge kind of worded it. I'm kind of scared that Edge thinks that he has the money in the bank. Whatever, he was the first winner of it. That's nor here nor there. Then his friend Sheamus came down there to offer some words of advice, and then boom! Claymore kicked his head off. And what I really liked about this is that this feud has been slowly bubbling since October. The only thing I didn't like about this is I felt like this should have been maybe one of the closing segments of Raw or the closing segment of Raw opposed to the opening. Next up on Monday Night Raw, we had the United States Champion Bobby Lashley of the Hurt Business go against Matthew Riddle. Now, we should be excited about this match, but Lashley beat Riddle clean about a month ago. And I just don't understand. I'm not really understanding WWE storytelling with this. You know, Riddle has the potential to be a future WWE champion, future Universal champion, but he's just stuck getting buried by the Hurt Business. And there's just ways to tell this story where Lashley still looks strong, where Riddle still looks strong. But why would we be excited for this match when Lashley beat him a couple of weeks ago clean, and then this match ended in a DQ after 1 minute because Lashley wouldn't let go of the Hurt Lock? Come on, WWE. This is my WWE Be More Creative face. Next up on Monday Night Raw, we had Xavier Woods versus Mace. And we had a returning Kofi Kingston who was not cleared from injury, but he came down there to give his New Day brother some assistance in fighting Retribution. Xavier Woods actually won with a surprise roll-up after the distraction. And of course, you know, it's the most devastating move in all of pro wrestling, so it had to make his appearance in there. But credit to WWE, they really have been easing out with the most devastating move in all of pro wrestling. But now they've switched that to the surprise roll-up. So we're still in the same world. We're still in the same world. Would you want to take a guess about what was the most viewed video from YouTube after the Royal Rumble? Not Edge winning, not Bianca Belair winning, not Goldberg getting beat by Drew McIntyre. It was Bad Bunny diving off the top rope to John Morrison and The Miz. So, and actually, smart booking, WWE followed this up with having Bad Bunny on Miz TV. And this was all to set up a debuting Damien Priest. Now, here it is. We have all seen how NXT talent has been treated. I call it getting main rostered. But him and Finn Balor and Kevin Owens were the exception because Damien Priest debuted hard. He came out there, he looked like $1 million, came out there, you know, he's a big, tall, strong dude, hitting some backflips. He beat Miz clean in the middle of the ring, got the endorsement by Bad Bunny. Now that is a way that you can establish a star early. You bring him up, you present him like a star, so us as the fans will perceive him as a star. Keep pushing him. Keep pushing Damien Priest and any other superstars you bring up from NXT. Push them the same way, WWE. Come on, I knew you had it in you. And what was even cooler about that is that after this match, he got an endorsement by Edge via a handshake. And that's the way you establish it. Take your mind back. About 12, 13 years ago, there was a guy named John Cena that came out and had an incredible match. And who endorsed him back there? Undertaker. Wonder whatever happened to that guy. But anyway, next up we had the Hurt Business versus Lucha Bro. And thankfully, this infighting between Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin and the whole Hurt Business over Cedric's arrogance has ended because they won this cool, fun TV match. And we need to establish some more tag teams on Raw so the Hurt Business has more people to go against instead of each other. Boy, oh boy. Po, Oscar. Have you ever seen a champion just get treated so badly. So next up, we had Asuka and Charlotte Flair versus Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose versus a surprise team of Lana and Naomi. And, you know, Charlotte Flair's new stepmom, Lacey Evans, and Ric Flair have been coming out with the distraction. Lacey coming out with the robe and doing a woo. They've been doing that for the last couple of weeks. But for some reason, this week, it really got under Charlotte's skin because in the middle of the match, when her new stepmom and Ric Flair were at the top of the stage, coming out here distracting like they've been doing for the last 3 weeks, she just got so bothered by it. It was so under her skin that she just literally just got out the ring and just walked towards them. But it wasn't like an aggressive, angry, ooh, I'm gonna kick your ass when I get there. It was just more like a, yeah, I'm bored. This is going on. I gotta deal with this kind of look. And, you know, whatever. And then of all people to take the pin, I'm happy that Naomi got the pin over the women's champion, but you could have pinned anybody else, but you pin your women's champion? And this is probably all to set up a feud with Charlotte Flair and Asuka, and that's dope, but we all know how this goes. It's gonna set up the feud, and this is, Charlotte Flair is probably gonna win, and then it's probably gonna end up being a feud between Charlotte Flair and Lacey Evans, just leaving Asuka completely on the side. Listen, I have no problem being wrong. I'm happy being wrong. I was wrong about Bill Goldberg not winning the WWE champion. So hopefully, let me be wrong, but more than likely, I'm not. Next up, we had Jeff Hardy with a returning Carlito after he made his return at the Royal Rumble last night. It was Jeff Hardy and Carlito versus Jackson Ryker and Elias for reasons, but skip all that. I understand it's COVID, but how dare you bring Carlito back and not have him spit an apple in the people's face who don't want to be cool? Are you kidding me? And this honestly was not the best display of of Carlito. He stood on the corner at the turnbuckle. He was waiting for one hot tag. He got it, and then he tagged basically right back out for Jeff Hardy to win with the Swanton Bomb. So maybe there's more to the story that we don't know, but come on, guys, you guys could have made Carlito look better. If not, just have him spit in the face for those people who don't want to be cool. I understand it's COVID, but come on, man. Come on, at least bring the apple out. And next up was hilarious. So we had a recap of Alexa Bliss and Randy Orton and everything they're going through, but the recap literally turned into a recap of a recap. If you watch it, you know exactly what I mean. And then we had a match between Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Now this is awesome because there's a lot of story involved with this. They used to be women's tag team champions. They were best friends and they had a falling out. Then Alexa Bliss got taken over by the Fiend. Now she's the Fiend and the Fiend is gone. And Nikki Cross has been trying to get her head straight since then. And you would think this was all playing to the match, and it really didn't. Yeah, I know. You would all that months of storyline, they kind of just let it just kind of fall by the wayside. And then Alexa Bliss won, which she should, because she had some playful new moves to her arsenal, her modified version of Sister Abigail. I think all that is awesome, but it's just like you had all this history to call back on, and you rarely did that. And then this was all, and poor Nikki Cross, by the way, because she basically had to act like none of this ever existed. Then walking up the rampway, Alexa Bliss crossed path with Randy Orton, and Randy Orton doesn't even acknowledge her, doesn't even look her way, and you know that pissed her off. So for a mega main event, we got Edge versus Randy Orton. I'm gonna go ahead and say this just from the beginning. This should have been happening this week. Come on, this is Edge and Randy Orton. I need at least a 1 week build. You don't just throw that out there. But hey, listen, I'm not complaining. Edge and Randy Orton, I'm all here for it. After a really fun, I think honestly, this was one of their best matches. I think this is better than the match at WrestleMania. Not better than the greatest match of all time because, you know, what match is, even though WWE voted it like the 5th best match of last year. Whatever. Yeah, this was a really good, fun, back and forth TV match. And this match ended when Alexa Bliss turned up on the turnbuckle and blood was coming out of her mouth because spooky. And then with that distraction, Edge hit him with a spear for the 1, 2, 3. Now, I'm not against the supernatural stuff. This is the story they've been telling. But to end the Edge and Randy Orton feud like this, I feel like that's a bit lackluster. These guys have literally been in a rivalry for a year, injury angle, all that stuff. You guys could have pulled, I feel like this could have been dragged out a little bit more, but for it to end like this, whatever. I mean, I don't need to see Ed versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania, but I'm just saying, like, for it to end like this, it was a bit surprising, it was a bit lackluster, and, you know, at this point, since The Fiend's been gone, everybody really wants to see Alexa Bliss versus Randy Orton at this point. Make it happen, WWE. But that was Raw this week. This week was not horrible. Comparatively speaking to the last couple of weeks, this was definitely not horrible. This was a post-Royal Rumble Raw. Like I said, it wasn't horrible. I would give it a hit, but kind of like an in-between kind of hit. Like you get like a 6 out of 10, so you got like a C-, so like you didn't fail, but it still wasn't really all that good. WWE got the superstars. You know what I'm saying? You have the match quality. Just do better. You see this? This is my WWE Be More Creative face. With that being said, I am Mr. Richie Moon. This is True Heel Heat Wrestling. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll be back next week for another episode of Raw. But until then, I'll see you down the road. True Heel Heat Wrestling. Over and